way of responding. All of a sudden things pause. There's a calmness, a clarity that comes with it. Pressure's not up here, it's down here where it should be. And it's managing the amount of pressure that should be up here. Because we have pressure all over our body. Our arteries have to have a specific amount of pressure. The amount of PSI, pounds per square inch. On average, we need about 14.7 PSI in this area to have proper health. Peristalsis, which is a major function of digestion and elimination, will weaken over time if we're not breathing with the belly. A baby breathes with its belly. A baby breathes the way that we should be breathing. But then stress, a really bad education from our parents because of the way they breathe, you know, all of these things alter and change. And the child begins to learn from its environment rather than from the natural environment of its own body. And it really wants to. So, again, it's our responsibility to our children to be extremely healthy, to breathe deep and to breathe properly. You can manage everything by managing your breath. It changes everything. You go to the Asthma Society, they don't even teach you how to breathe. Blow into this puffer. Oh, you're weak. First of all, doing it through the mouth. We don't breathe through it. We're not supposed to be breathing through our mouth like that. We're supposed to be breathing through the nose, in and out through the nose, as much as possible. There are times when we breathe out through the mouth, you know, if I'm talking. If I'm using an external weight and I need to pick something up, yes, then I need to shift. But even then, am I going to go, no, because I need a certain amount of pressure. Gives me much more strength. Yes. Where does strength come from? This is a great one. You can have the biggest, strongest man in the world come at you, right? But you take away his breath and what's he got? There's no strength there. He's on the ground. He can't even lift that body off the ground that is supposedly so strong. So where does our breath come, or where does our strength come from? I just gave it away. From our breath, right?
Beautiful. I have a few more questions today, and one that I wanted to touch on, because a lot of people on the show speak about it, is the shift that's supposedly coming in 2012. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I have studied a lot of those angles, very open-mindedly, mind you, as well. There are many people that believe the end of the world is coming through cataclysm. Many people that the end of the world as we know it is coming, meaning that there will be a major shift in consciousness. Planetary, situations, galactic situations. For one, as Yoda would say, forever motion is the future. It's hard to tell. So, yeah, we can speculate. But we do know certain things. We do know that the sun is changing. We do know that we are moving into a major season, a new season of the sun. The sun goes through seasons too. We have to keep in mind that our sun also has a sun that it revolves around, which is a galactic center. Everything revolves around everything. It constantly works this way, infinitely, without cause and effect. And so we have to understand that our Earth, as it goes through its seasons, it's about to become into alignment with, I guess we could consider it summer in this way. The Indians or the yogis will call this the yugas, going through different stages of time. And these stages of time are connected from everything from the resources that we go through on the planet to intergalactic revolutions, and that kind of thing. We do know that... See, I don't want to bring fear into people, and this is the thing. Before I go into this, can I say something? It's very important to understand not to fear change. People say, what do I do? How do we teach these people to overcome these things or to overcome the fear? 3 things to focus on. How to change, how to learn to adapt, and how to learn to improvise. These are the 3 most important tools, because the world's going to change anyway, and you can't control it. Don't protect your children, prepare them. Now that just means for their health, for the way they live, everything like that. So as the sun goes through these changes, we are going to have more solar flares. This is going to fry, thank God, this horrible Wi-Fi grid that we've put around our planet. I mean, we know that Hi-Fi is causing damages. We're bouncing microwaves all over our planet. And microwaves cause all kinds of problems when they're concentrated like this and aimed at certain things. We know this. You see what happens if you stick metal in a microwave, right? You microwave your food, it destroys all the nutrients in your food. Then you're eating this hypercycled atom that is throwing off the entire atomic structure of your body. Well, what happens when we put it around our entire planet through satellites, and we're doing it to the whole planet? So this will fry that. Our electrical grid's going to go out of whack for sure because of that. And there will be changes. Are we going to be thrown back into the dark ages? I doubt it. We're too quick now. We're intelligent. We can get things going again. That's for sure. But there will be pauses in our society that we deserve and that we need, because we need to learn to slow down again. We got to stop with the fast food. We got to stop with the bank machines. Look how impatient people are in a lineup. It's 2 minutes between me and the teller, and I'm ready to pull my hair out. How did that happen? It used to take people days to go from St. Catharines to Toronto on a horse. You know, they took their time. We've lost that. And our body, our mind, our emotions, our behaviors are being harmed by this. Okay? So we need these changes to come. Is a portion of the population going to be wiped off of the face of the earth? We're already seeing that. First, it's the displacement of those people. There's already millions and millions of people being displaced right now. It's causing a major shift. If I live in an environment, this is a whole reason why local eating is such a powerful understanding. I am that environment. I go through the problems that environment goes through. Should I be eating goji berries? I don't know. Should I be eating something that comes from a different continent and goes through different circumstances and problems that I do? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right. But it kind of makes sense. That's what I'm starting to see. I try to grow as much food as I can in my garden and try to do that way. We try to eat as locally as we can because it's an ecosystem. The closer I am to the vibrations of my local ecosystem, the healthier I'm going to be because I'm in relation with it. And so its motions will work with me rather than against me because I'm not trying to become some kind of, outer dimensional part of that ecosystem because I'm filling myself full of different foods that come from a different, area. So, unfortunately, yes, there probably will be major catastrophes. I foresee a plague. When the planet, when the Earth changes in relation to the sun, bacteria will change with it. The bacteria that's connected to viruses will change with it. Viruses are extremely intelligent. They're more intelligent than we are. We're constantly trying to outsmart them, and they keep proving that they're smarter than us. We have to accept we're not the top of the food chain here. So, what do we need to do? Well, we need to just form a body that the viruses don't want to be in. And we can do that. Qigong teaches us how to do that. It teaches us how to expand our field so that we don't have to rely on the field of the Earth, which is actually contracting right now. There's a lot of debate. One of them is, are we doing it, or is the sun doing it? The shift is being taken off mankind right now, because boy, do we love to do that, right? We love to take the blame away from ourselves and put it on others. So we'll blame the sun. It's the sun doing it. It's going through its changes, so obviously there's nothing we can do about it. But we forget how long the sun has been in relationship with how long the Earth has been in relationship with the sun. And what happens is, as the sun goes through its cycles, it might go through its summer, and increase in heat, and increase in solar flares and all of this, the Earth would produce more vegetation. This vegetation will help the planet metabolize. Take a look and study the Earth's field and how it actually metabolizes. It's not a shield. And you hear a lot of these, this is great, you hear a lot of energy workers say, you must put a shield around yourself, right? Protect yourself. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That doesn't let anything in or out. And you just created your own blockage. A filter. The Earth filters and metabolizes the energy. We need to tap into our higher selves and program our field to filter and metabolize these energies. If you want to call it negative energies, negative psychic energies, or whatever, you can't be harmed by them if you don't allow them to harm you. It takes a while, doesn't happen overnight. Of course, there's a lot of discipline and training involved, okay? And it takes years and years to transform into this. And it doesn't have to be under a guru. You can do it yourself. But you do need to find the information. Okay, so the earth will go with the changes with the sun. But what have we done now? We've stripped the earth of its resources. We've stripped the earth of so much of its vegetation that now it's not going to be able to respond the way it's supposed to. So yes, it's both. It's not one or the other, it's both. And whenever you think something is one or the other, stop for a second and ask yourself, could it be both? And more than likely, it probably will be. And that's how we find our solutions. Stop blaming. Find the change. You know, there's this great line in a James song that says, I just blanked out. So it says, stop trying to find who's to blame. Focus on how to change. So it's not who's to blame, it's how to change. And that's what it's really about. I can't walk around in my family pointing blame. I can't walk around my society pointing blame. What I need to do is find the way to change it. Blame doesn't do anything. It just creates more problems.
Beautiful. Now we're at the final question for today. And I ask everybody this, and hopefully I'll do a compilation of this, so no pressure.
Oh.
Your final words of wisdom today, David.
My final words of wisdom? My final words of wisdom would be that you're not in a hopeless situation. As much as you may think you are, there's always an answer. There's always a solution. But it's up to you to find the drive within yourself, which will help to stir that creative energy again, to bring you forward in life. To allow you to get what you need in life. Not what you want, because what you think you want, as we know growing up, may not always be what you want, but what you truly need. And as you begin to sort through what is trivial and not trivial, you'll know what you need. You'll know what works and what doesn't work, and you'll start moving through those approaches. But what's important to stop doing is to stop being down on yourself. Stop complaining. Stop complaining about those around you. It's what I call the bitch mind. And all it does is offend you and offend everyone around you. And you have to understand something. That if I project a negative energy at someone or something, it has to go through my field first. It has to come from me. It has to be stirred and created by me. So no matter what, when I point the finger, I've got three pointing back. Okay? It's important to understand that you're harming yourself through this. If the world can come together, finally eliminate its closed-mindedness, and the only way this is going to work is through inner peace first. Because we cannot have global peace without inner peace. And that means each individual is responsible for their own health. Because when you are healthy, you are spiritually vibrating at a very powerful frequency. And this is important to understand. But another thing that must be important to understand is that what we try to classify as good or bad might not be what someone else classifies as good or bad. And that's where the gray areas come in. That's where we have to try to learn that as long as it's not harming another individual, that we gotta back off a little and not be so judgmental.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
David, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with the TV show today, for sharing your story, your personal journey, and for bringing Chicology to the world. It's an amazing healing modality, system, if I can use that word, and it's changing people's lives. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Many blessings and much love.